Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Money and Mindset with Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, known as Dr. Money, and Dr. Thyonne Gordon, Dr. Story Genius. Hey, lady, how are you this morning?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm finally back in a familiar place. Good old.
So are you home?
I'm home. I'm in good old Las Vegas again. It's like
Familiar for you could be anywhere. You've lived in some different places.
exactly. It's been definitely a run around the world and definitely a roam through California last week. I felt like every day I was popping up at a different location.
Okay. Yeah, you should have been popping up in a different location. Like, hi everyone, I'm over here. Yeah,
Here
no.
I am.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, it's been a great week. I have people. I have people texting me,
Oh, yeah?
and
That's excellent.
my tenants texting me. So that's why I'm like, oh, let me make sure they're okay. Great morning to start, a great Monday morning. I did my little meal prep all last night and got some really good food. I'm so excited. Costco has a sea bass that is to die for. I didn't
Wow.
want to pay the money for it because I was like, it's just too expensive. But once I actually got it, I got it last week and it was so good. And I was thinking, what, you pay $30 for a sea bass, a piece of sea bass that you could have like 4 to 5 servings. I would pay $30 in a restaurant for a sea bass.
Right,
So
right.
it was really worth it. So I'm excited about my week of eating. Woo, it's going to be wonderful. And
But
speaking
about your week of eating, I'm still feeling that, oh, we're going to work. I'm going to work with my trainer and you could be on the treadmill. Yeah, you and your trainer. Hmm.
Well, that's why I get to eat like I eat. And that's how you can enjoy all those meals. I saw you sending your pictures of wonderful little restaurants where you were, farm to table food, which is all good. But you got to exercise in
Oh,
order.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Well, I grew up with a life of training.
I'm glad that you got to train with Butch.
Actually, it was nice. And then, believe it or not, the next day at Desiree's, we walked the mountain. So we did about an hour walk. And one of those hills was like this. So coming back up, we felt it all. So it was a perfect way to stretch out after that good workout.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, speaking of working out and exercising, that is our topic for Money and Mindset today. We're going to talk about exercising the brain because the mindset, we've been talking about how to have a positive mindset, how to do all these different things like that. But there's more to it than just thinking good thoughts. We really need to think about how we take care of our bodies, our minds, our spirits, our souls, every part of us. So this week is going to be our Healthy Mindset and Money Week. And we're going to invite on a special guest to work with us every day. And I'll allow you to do the honors of the introduction of our special guest. But this week, get ready. Monday through Wednesday, we are going to talk about taking care of this whole thing that we call a body so that we can have the best mindset and money abundance ever. So today's topic is about mindset by exercising the brain, or money and mindset by exercising the brain. And you guys are probably like, what? You take your brain to a trainer too? Yeah, kind of. So is our special guest on today? Is he ready to come in?
He's coming, not yet, but he will be on shortly. As soon as he's on, I'll do a quick intro and drum him in. But
So,
we are
yeah.
on.
So I
Uh,
was going to say, then why don't we start, Dr. Money, with you maybe talking about how you begin the warm up for exercising the brain. What's a good warm up to exercise your brain?
Oh, one of my favorites is I don't know how many of you have done morning pages. Morning pages is meant to be a writing exercise, but it's like preparing you before you begin writing. And so the idea is that you take out a blank sheet of paper and you start writing. You put your pen on the paper and you let it just write. You don't pick the pen up off the paper for about a minute or two nonstop. And no matter what comes up, you just keep writing. It could be random things, you just keep writing. And the idea is that that clears all of the junk that's kind of waiting to come out. And then if you get past that, then you're able to get to clear thought, clear opportunity. You're able to access your creativity and be able to then come up with great nuggets beyond that point. And so there have been times that I felt that I needed a bit of a jump start, a mental jump start. I'm not sure if there's some kind of, block or something needs to get out. And that's one of the tools that I use, is to do a series of morning pages. And for those of us writing or creating content, it's really a great precursor for those types of activities.
That's a good way to clear the clutter in your mind, in your brain. That's a great way. Another way of clearing out your mind, especially we talk about clearing it out early in the morning because you want to be a receptor later. So I would say clearing in the morning and clearing in the evening so that you can really rest your brain. And a good way to also clear your brain is to have some kind of meditative music or music that has more sounds to it, or ambiance music, things like that help to clear your mind. You don't have to have words to it. Classical music is a wonderful clearer, and just finding that piece that either gives you peace or the piece that helps it stop to race. Even if it's a racy piece of classical music, it can help to clear your mind. So music, clearing with the writing, and of course, meditation. Just taking some time to lay still. Even if you're not sleepy, this is one of the things Dr. Money has to do because she can be an insomniac. It's time to lay down and just lay still. Close your eyes. Try not to think of anything. Prayers help clear the mind. And prayers of gratitude in particular help to clear the mind. So just like you do a morning pages, you could do an evening gratitude journal. And that helps to clear your mind of things that you were grateful for the day, so you can let go of some of those things. So clearing the mind is the first step in exercising. It's your stretching. It's stretching those muscles so that they can work really hard. Like Dr. Money worked really hard last week at the treadmill. Yeah, it might even feel a little painful in the beginning because you may just be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this and I don't want to do, because you haven't allowed your brain to stretch out like that before. You haven't started exercising it. So stick with it, Dr. Money, and you'll see that it keeps getting better and better. Now, the second part of exercising the brain, after you stretch, you got to start getting some movement in it. You got to start making it work for you. There's lots of ways to exercise the brain so that your memorization is better, so that your understanding is better, so your analytical skills are better. And those ways are things like doing puzzles or word game puzzles. Scrabble's a great exerciser if you want to get some other people to help you. There are some games now, even on your phone, that they recommend. And those are games like Luminosity. And Luminosity gives you a bunch of just little games they're really fun games. And you'll have to figure out, how can you put this in the box before this falls on you? Or, it's almost like when we were kids and we played Pac-Man or Centipede. Those type of things. What, Jax, go sit down. Sorry, that's my little dog. Those type of things help to really get your coordination, your hand-eye coordination when you're trying to play those type of things. When you were young, you didn't realize they're really helping with hand-eye coordination and your brain, how it connects. The connectors are connecting the dots. There's another one called Elevate that takes your brain up to another level. And this one goes in rounds, just like Pac-Man when we were young, where you get the first screen, then you can get the next screen, then you get the bonus screen. Well, this one does the same thing. The more you exercise your brain and you're learning to remember things and playing with all these different puzzles, it takes you to different levels so you can move it. So your connectors are moving even faster and you're connecting to things. It's really important in our later years to play with these type of games and word puzzles and things like that. They help to ward off things like Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm not saying that's a cure for either of those, but exercising your brain absolutely helps you to have a longer lifespan and helps you to keep those connectors popping. Pop, 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 pop. And that's what we're going to ask some questions to a medical doctor about those types of things too.
Exactly. Another thing that I was thinking about that oftentimes people take for granted, and that is just doing something differently, activating your brain in simple things. And so, it's been said and it's been studied and proven that oftentimes people get into accidents in their own neighborhood, and it's because you're sort of in autopilot and you're not consciously aware because you've taken the same path so often that our brains kind of take over and we're in autopilot. And so a trick to keep your brain alert and also to activate it is to take a different path home. Explore, go a different way, just like when we're working out and we vary the types of exercises that we're doing, because what we want to do is we want to confuse our muscles. We don't want them to get comfortable in the same routine, because then the routine is no longer impactful. You have to break it up and create some disruption to your routine for your muscles to react. And so it's the same thing when we're talking about keeping our brains active and making sure that we are doing those types of exercises and things. And then what we were going to end up finding out about with our guest today, I'll go ahead and give a quick little blurb about him. Dr. Jacob Oliver is a holistic physician focused on functional medicine. And he has a few additional therapies that he deals with energy and a few other elements that he'll be able to share with us. But I was able to meet the good doctor in Jamaica and learn about a lot of the work that he was doing and follow some of his speaking and activities. He was on a speaking tour throughout London. Treating patients and educating patients. The things that resonated so much in our early conversations was that his expression of how healing requires a mindset just as much as everything else, but how critical the mindset is to being able to heal the patient. So let's see if I can have him join us now.
Yes.
Dr. Oliver, are you ready to join?
I'm here.
You're here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Oliver. Welcome to the Money and Mindset Show again.
Yes, the forever young lady. Hi, Doc. Forever young Doc. I'm going to call you Forever Young Doc.
I like that. I think I'm going to keep that title. I like that moniker.
And definitely, I'm glad I'm here. I mean, I listen to you guys a few mornings, and I see that you're on the right path of the right mindset. So, it's funny because when I first got back to Jamaica, that's what I was working on with the young youth. Is if we could change their mindsets, you could have better youths and more progressive youths and less crime in Jamaica, less issues, less financial issues and stuff. And it's the first thing that was on my mind 15 years ago is that if we teach them how to use their thoughts and their mind to create wealth and health, then they will advance. And it's been my mission since.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great. Well, we were talking this morning about money and mindset in regards to making sure that our entire bodies are healthy. So a lot of people think, oh, mindset is about positive thinking, and money is just about getting out there and getting your grind on and making your money. And one of the things we wanted to introduce this week, and why we asked you to visit with us this week every day, is the health of our entire body. And today we're starting with the brain and the mind. We talked this morning about resting it, clearing it out first, clear it all out. Sometimes you need to just shut down, clear it out. Dr. Money talked about morning pages and being able to write things out. And we talked about resting at night, meditation, doing those type of things. And we also talked about some exercising of the brain in terms of doing word puzzles or taking a different route sometimes so that you can keep your connectors going. But now
Right.
to find out what are some things we can do health-wise when we eat our foods? What are some brain foods that we can eat to energize and charge our brain and make sure that it's functioning well?
Well, those would be a variety of supplements, actually. Ginkgo biloba is one of the first go-to. I mean, I'm quite sure a lot of people know about ginkgo. And
tell us more about ginkgo. Tell us more about ginkgo, because some people don't know. We always assume people know, but
ginkgo biloba is a plant that's been in the I would say phytonutrients. It's a phytonutrient. It's also one of those plants that is very medicinal for the last thousands of years within the Asian community, but they also have similar plants growing in the African community, much more rugged because of the heat and so forth. But with the one that we get here regularly, and when I was in England, I actually picked some, and because they have them growing wild in England, I find that certain medicinal plants are growing wild, all over the world. I mean, you just have to know where they are. But this one in particular, ginkgo, it helps to normalize our brain works on different levels of chemistry and physics. So we have the pituitary glands that are right at the front of the brain that deals with basically most of our functions, especially that of the reproductive, sexual. You'd be surprised how important those functions are, and releasing those endorphins on a regular basis, not just through sex, but through exercise. There's exercise that we do for the brain. So ginkgo now, what it adds to the whole equation is it's a super antioxidant that cleans the cells of the brain. The brain cells are a lot different from the rest of the cells in your body. They're much softer. They're more like, in a pattern of the way the egg yolk is. Basically, they look and feel like egg yolk, so you know that they're really soft. Certain energy we don't put to the brain, so there's certain nutrients have to bring those, not chemical, but I would say healing properties to the brain. And ginkgo is one of those plants, phytonutrients, that does that. Also, you have other nutrients like amino acids that you combine that with that. A very famous one is the acetyl L-carnitine. That one brings energy to the brain, to the ATP. Ginkgo does the same thing, but this one it's like a more instant with the mitochondria. It goes to the mitochondria of the cells and help the brain to get the right amount of ATP, which is the energy that each cells need for function.
You said L-carnitine?
Yeah. L-carnitine. Yeah, it's
I'm glad to know that's what that does, because I had a trainer have me taking L-carnitine, and I was like, why am I taking all these extra supplements of stuff? I don't even know what this does. Now I know what
brain. Yeah, that's brain and cell development. Let me tell you a secret about L-carnitine. The trainer is smart. It's the same trainer that you guys go to the other day. Yeah, that's probably why he looks the way he looks, as you were telling me. Because L-carnitine is one of the, when they did a research on super centurions, people who live into their century and beyond, and very active and physically athletic and stuff. You have some of them running and track and doing Ironman and all this stuff. When they research, what they found that they had more than the regular people was L-carnitine in their blood.
Wow, I better go and get that L-carnitine. I just ignored him.
So I take it. Once I found that out, I take it daily. I buy mine from Vitamin Shop, just L-carnitine. I mean, it's the what they call it, acetyl L-carnitine. When you go to the vitamin shop, ask for that one specifically.
Okay, we got ginkgo, L-carnitine. Okay, I hate taking supplements, but I'm about to start taking some.
Exactly.
Well, that one in particular, you need that and CoQ10 and NSA and NAC, which is also N-acetylcysteine. That one helps clean up the oxygen damages and other damages that are in the brain, the body. You know, we do get a lot of damages just from oxygen coming into the body. We need oxygen for our survival, yes, but oxygen also create damages as far as the brain in the brain. So that's another supplement that we need to clean those those damages, or regulate or normalize the cells after the oxygen damage and tissue damage. Okay, the tissue get damage also in the brain. So yes, you need those supplements. And as I said, there's exercise that you do also. You do the reading, the word puzzles and so forth. But I do an exercise which I've seen it on what you call it for a while now. I've seen doctors doing videos of it on I guess YouTube and stuff. But it's one that you basically, I don't know if you see where you take your ears, but you do your hand crossway, you cross your hand out. Yes. You massage the ears.
Massage your ears.
And while you're doing that, you do your squats with it.
Are you kidding?
So
my trainer.
That's a brain. That's the best brain exercise you can do.
Oh,
so you're doing your squats.
Cross ear.
And while you're massaging the earlobe, all of the earlobe, you massage it. And
I don't have enough room to do no squats.
Cross.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. But you got the idea. So that is one of those.
Listen, you are like the Michael Jordan of medicine. Like, you can't just make a basket. No, we gotta.
Yeah, because I practice.
Ooh, extra.
That's why I practice functional medicine. Functional medicine, you cannot. That's why it's so sad, because medical doctors, they sit there and they write you a prescription, and they know in their hearts, some of them know that prescription is not going to help you. There's so many things that you have to do for your function to get normalized that you don't even need prescription. You don't need those prescriptions. Those things are most of the time it's a lie. So you need to supplement yourself properly with the right minerals. Minerals and amino acids and vitamins are basically what you need on a regular basis. But because of the pharmaceutical companies now are into what you call vitamins, you have to be very careful with what you're buying. Those one a day and those garbage that they have out there is full of chemicals, because they're still using the same chemicals to get their patents exclusively for them. So if you want real minerals and good minerals, you eat a variety of fruits from around the world, eat them fresh, best to get them off the tree. As a matter of fact, if you want the best brain food, is to eat the fruits fresh from the trees, from the organic trees. Don't even wash them, because there's a microorganism on them. That's the only way. Those microorganisms goes into your body, and they can pass through the acid wall that you have in your stomach easily. They go down into your lower intestines, and they feed your probiotics 100%. Your B12 is increased, everything is increased, and all of that send message back to the brain, and the brain and the stomach works together. People don't realize that.
It's amazing, because what you're saying is everything's right around us. It's all natural. We don't have to do all the unnatural things to get healthy. We really need to just take a look around us and have natural foods. Natural
functions, the natural function of your body. There's other exercise that you do to release endorphins, the patting. You could even pat right here. You release your red blood cells in the morning. 2 minutes of patting, 2 minutes of patting releases. This is all releases endorphins to the brain, patting around the eyes. 8 to 10 packs
The
when you
tapping
get up in the morning.
exercises, the tapping, because I just started learning about the tapping.
Yeah, you do the tapping.
Summer. Yeah.
This is a brain. This one between your above your mouth and below, right here. This actually releases endorphins for the brain, for the whole brain.
Okay, so
amazing.
We have tapping. Let's make sure our
recap.
We have our L-carnitine. You said another one, NAIC. Is that what it was?
NAC, NAC. Get the NAC. As a matter of fact, NAC is one of those. They're now saying it's that and L-carnitine. I think they're saying that that's manna from heaven.
Wow. And then the other was ginkgo. Ginkgo
biloba is good, yes. But if you're taking L-carnitine and CoQ10 is also good. CoQ10 is your body produces that up until about what 50, maybe 60. You start finding that it's depleting, so you can get the supplements.
My trainer told me CoQ10 too. I'm like, what's he making this up? People know stuff. You got to pay attention. And I have
that's a smart guy.
In the African American community in particular, at least here in LA, I had never heard of anybody doing tapping. But when I ran a nonprofit over in South Central, we had a lot of different donors and people who would come in, and a lot of Jewish people would come in and assist us and become a part of the center. And that is where I first heard about tapping. One of my board members was so concerned about my health. He literally had me go through this whole series of scans, and it was this body scan thing I had never heard of before. But he was like, I need you to do this. The health of this organization depends on your health. You need to be healthy. My brother had a heart attack early. And so my board member was really concerned about me. And so I did all the scans. I was great. Everything was fine. But then he said, now I need you to start tapping. I'm like, tapping? What are you talking about? And so
smart guy.
About tapping. And I just thought, these people do some weird stuff. But the more I found out about it, I was like, wow, these are things that we don't know that we need to bring into our community. So I really appreciate you sharing this.
And that's why, I launched a tour that I was doing in England last month. Black History Month was October. October was Black History Month in England. So I had launched a store called Take Your Health Black. I didn't say take your health back, but take it black. Because there's a lot of things that we do in Africa that keeps us, our ancestors, I should say, but it's still us, that keeps us healthy. And we don't do them anymore. We have now come to the Western world, sitting around, like sitting ducks, eating their garbage, taking their medications that they create. I mean, they started out good. A lot of these medications start out with good intentions, I would say, because they want to heal, but the money got in the way, and of course they see a better way of making profit. And so by patenting and working with chemical companies, they introduce chemicals that is not necessary for your body. So a lot of times you have to go back to the natural resources that we have from Africa. So yes, there's a lot of things that was done in Africa that they have eliminated since we got here, and now leave us like to depend on their chemicals, which is not really conducive to our structure, our system of our body types. You know what I mean? So we have to get back. We have to find out what works for us as a people. And their chemotherapy don't work for us as a people. I find white people that survive chemotherapy. I mean, which I find amazing. Yeah. I find white people say, yeah, I did chemo like 30 years ago and I'm a cancer survivor. Like, wow. Most Black people do chemotherapy and within 2 years they're dead.
Yeah.
So I know chemotherapy is not for our type of people.
Yeah.
And
thank you so much. You have really put a great accent on exercising the brain. Tomorrow we're going to talk about exercising. What are we talking about, Dr. Money? Tomorrow.
I think we're progressing and we're talking about exercising the body, the right moves for you, understanding how movement and money, what's the relationship between movement and money, and
Yes.
how exercise contributes to the mindset and money that you're looking to create. So I think that's going to be really interesting, just correlating additional exercises, because as we were talking about tapping, I was introduced to tapping because I was holding stress in my body. And a colleague shared, well, let me show you about this tapping. Now, I was more interested in trying to release the stress out of my body, but I didn't realize that by following the tapping and releasing that stress out of my body, that it actually created a clearing for my business to flourish at the same time. And so that was an interesting, bonus that I didn't know that I would get, but it's like, wow, that's a great bonus to have. I'm helping my body and I'm still helping.
Exactly.
Manifest.
Think about the meridians. Think about the meridian. When you tap, you releases the meridians that are connected to your money. Meridians to the money.
Wow.
Yeah. We're going to be having a good conversation tomorrow.
Exactly.
Tune in, because we're going to start about those meridians to money. I like that.
That's right.
We are taking. We're gonna do this tour again. Take your health
black.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, we need to do it. We need to do it this side. The California side is ready for it. Yes,
we have to reboot that. That's right.
I think we need to do it. All three of us go on tour and do this, man. We do the radio, we do the what they call them, Zooms and all that stuff. Definitely.
We can do the Zooms. We can get a company to sponsor. Anybody that's out there listening, we need an RV.
Yes.
Do
exactly a road tour,
because this is physical, man. It's not only just sitting and talking. This can get physical. Yes.
Yeah. Show up in your neighborhood.
Yes.
With some cross arm.
Exactly. We line them up on the street in the neighborhood and let them do the exercise. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we get all this on video. This would be great. We even add some music to it,
We ready. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I think we should. Well, we definitely should. Let's get that sponsored.
We're going to do it. Let's get our audience going. It's 8:32. Thank you guys for joining us today. Dr. Money, you want to close us out?
Yeah, I just want to again thank everyone for tuning in again today. You know where you'll find us again tomorrow, same place, same time. We want to thank Dr. Oliver for joining us. We look forward to having you again tomorrow.
Yes, definitely.
So everyone, you know what it's all about. So Dr. Story Genius, thank you so much for, setting the context of this conversation for today. We appreciate it. And I think we probably helped a few folks, especially during this week of Thanksgiving, right? You can be thankful. You can enjoy your family, even if it's a modified event, but you can also be mindful of good things to still do for your body and health.
Absolutely.
Good time.
Absolutely. See you guys tomorrow.
All righty. Signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.